Imagine you are sitting in your living room. In front of you is your father, your grandfather, the man who used to be the pillar of the family, who used to carry you on his shoulders, who used to do everything by himself, without anyone's help. But now, to get up from the chair, he has to use both hands to push down, and he has to lift each step with trembling hands. Something as simple as getting out of bed every morning becomes a battle. This is not an isolated case. In fact, by the age of 80, people can lose up to 50% of their muscle mass compared to when they were younger. This is not normal fatigue, it is a syndrome called sarcopenia, muscle loss with age, and it is silently robbing the independence, freedom, and dignity of tens of millions of people around the world. Every year, more than 300,000 older people are hospitalized because of falls related to muscle weakness. They don't fall because they are careless, but because their bodies can no longer hold them up. But the most important thing is, it's not inevitable. While most seniors struggle with stairs, with sofas, with their own bodies, there is a completely different group. In their 70s, 80s, and even beyond, they are still climbing mountains, still playing sports, still living independently, doing everything they did when they were 40. They are called superagers, people who have transcended time with a secret that most of the world has never known. The question is, what do they do? And why don't most seniors do it? In the next section, you will discover a truth that the medical profession has never emphasized enough. Muscle loss is not a fate. It is the result of a wrong lifestyle, and it is completely changeable. There's one thing that's almost never made clear in the clinic. Muscle loss is not natural. It's not an inevitable part of aging. It's a consequence of ignorance, of outdated advice, and of a lifestyle that's been consumed by a false sense of aging. Most older adults are told, don't push yourself, rest, take care of your bones. That sounds reasonable, but in reality, that advice is what accelerates muscle loss. When you don't use your body, it gradually refuses to serve you. And the scary thing is that this muscle loss happens silently, painlessly, until you fall, can't get up, and there's no way to turn it back. Researchers at Harvard and the Mayo Clinic have discovered something that most seniors don't know. Muscle can be rebuilt, even in your 70s and 80s, if you know how to trigger the right biological mechanisms. The human body hasn't lost the ability to build muscle. It's just lost the necessary trigger. And most importantly, there are 7 habits, 7 strategies that have been scientifically proven to slow and even reverse muscle loss as you age. 7 habits that most seniors don't know about, but that superagers secretly practice every day. 1. To positive stress. The secret of the 80-year-old who still lives like a 40-year-old, and it may sound paradoxical. At 80, what makes you stronger is not complete relaxation, but a small amount of the right kind of stress. What scientists call hormetic stress. That is, stress that is mild, controlled, and has a positive effect on the body. The saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, has never been more true than in this case. When older people are exposed to some kind of positive stress, their bodies go into defense mode, and that defense activates genes that protect muscles, increase cellular energy production, and slow down the aging process. The first example is temperature. Specifically, changes in temperature. Superagers often end their showers with cold water for 30-60 seconds, or use the sauna 3-4 times a week. Scientists at the Buck Institute point out that this not only improves circulation, but also activates brown fat, a good fat that burns energy and protects muscles. Saunas also increase heat shock proteins, molecules that help repair damaged muscle cells. Another form of stress is intermittent fasting. When you eat within an 8-10 hour window each day, your body activates its self-cleaning mechanism, autophagy, which removes damaged cells and boosts the function of mitochondria, the muscle's energy-producing machines. A third habit is a form of short, high-intensity exercise, overcoming isometrics, like pushing against a wall with maximum force for 10 seconds. These short but powerful contractions send a direct signal to the muscle cells, saying, this body still needs strength. Most importantly, all of these stresses should be short, reversible, and used appropriately. They are not harmful, but rather a signal to the body that it still needs to be strong and to stay strong. 2. The protein clock. Eating enough is not enough. Eating at the right time is important. Most seniors have heard the advice, eat more protein to keep muscle. But there is a much more important factor that almost no one mentions: the time of day you eat protein. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. a phenomenon in which older people's bodies become lazier in converting protein into muscle. If at age 20, just one protein-rich meal is enough to trigger muscle synthesis, at age 70, it is no longer as effective as before. The problem is, most seniors only eat a lot of protein at dinner, while the muscle activation window is only 3 to 4 hours after each meal. If you only eat protein late at night, you are missing out on at least 2 other opportunities to build muscle during the day. The solution is simple. Divide your daily protein intake into 3 main meals, each containing at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. An ideal breakfast doesn't have to be just a bagel or porridge. Add eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein shake. Lunch could be salmon, chicken, tofu, or beans. Dinner stays the same, but it's no longer the only protein meal. A study from the University of Texas found that older adults who followed this strategy gained 1.2 pounds of muscle in 12 weeks, without changing any other habits. So if you're eating right but still feeling weak, you might just be eating at the wrong times. 3 and 4. Vitamin D, an anti-inflammatory. The silent key to keeping muscles in older age. In the world of senior health, if there's one nutrient that's underrated but has the most profound impact on muscle strength, it's vitamin D. Most people know vitamin D as the bone vitamin, but few know that it's also the muscle vitamin, and a deficiency can weaken you faster than any other factor. Research from Harvard University has shown that muscles have special receptors for vitamin D, and when properly activated, these receptors promote protein synthesis and protect against muscle degeneration. Another study from JAMA Internal Medicine found that older adults with optimal vitamin D levels above 40 ng/ml had 25% higher muscle strength, better balance, and a significantly lower risk of falling than those who were deficient. Yet by age 65, your skin produces only 50% of the vitamin D it did at age 20, even with sun exposure. What's more, most older adults are advised to take 400 600 IU a day, a level that's far from optimal. Modern research suggests that 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day is effective for most older adults depending on blood levels. But what's less well known is that vitamin D needs vitamin K2 to work safely. Without K2, the calcium that vitamin D takes in can go astray and end up in your arteries instead of your bones and muscles. K2 is commonly found in fermented foods like natto, hard cheeses, or animal liver, and few modern people get enough of it. Along with vitamin D, another silent muscle-destroying factor is chronic inflammation, also known as inflammaging. This is a condition in which the body is in a constant state of mild, sustained irritation, causing muscle to break down faster than it can be rebuilt, despite adequate nutrition and exercise. People who stay strong into their 80s have something in common. They have surprisingly low inflammation levels. They get enough sleep, eat a wide variety of fiber, more than 30 plant foods per week, and supplement with natural probiotics from yogurt, kefir, and fermented food. They avoid overtraining. Instead, they keep the intensity moderate and add a few burst sessions to the week. Plus, they supplement it with omega-3s, curcumin, and polyphenols from fatty fish, turmeric, green tea, and olive oil, compounds that have been shown to reduce inflammation by 20%. Remember, if you want your body to build muscle, you have to first turn off the fire inside you. 5 and 6. Micronutrients in the neuromuscular joint. The unseen side of the muscle battle. You may be eating enough protein, taking vitamin D, and even exercising regularly, but still getting weaker by the day. Why? The answer lies in 2 factors that most seniors completely overlook: essential micronutrients and the deterioration of the nerve-muscular junction, or neuromuscular junction. First, micronutrients. Your body doesn't just need protein to build muscle. It needs catalysts to use the protein properly. And without them, the entire muscle-building process can come to a halt. Magnesium is one of the most deficient minerals in older adults, and it's also key to over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, especially those related to muscle contraction and recovery from exercise. Without enough magnesium, you may not see any improvement in your workouts, and you may even feel more tired. Next up is creatine, often misconstrued as a junior gym goer's supplement. In fact, creatine is a naturally occurring compound that helps store energy in muscle cells. In older adults, supplementing with 3 to 5 g of creatine per day has been shown to significantly increase strength, muscle mass, and even improve memory. Additionally, B vitamins, especially methylcobalamin B12, zinc, selenium, and chromium all play important roles in maintaining muscle energy, regulating insulin, and protecting muscles from oxidation. Research from Tufts University shows that people with optimal levels of micronutrients retain 20% more muscle mass over 5 years than those who are deficient. But one of the biggest secrets lies in a place that few people pay attention to: the connection between the brain and the muscle. After age 60, the neural sockets that attach to muscle fibers begin to weaken. That means that even if you have muscles, your brain can no longer effectively command your muscles to work properly. This is why some people who look healthy have slow reactions, fall easily, and feel uncooperative. The solution comes from exercises that require coordination and precision, like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong. These activities activate the nervous system that controls muscles, helping to maintain reflexes and flexibility. Additionally, supplementation with compounds like acetyl L-carnitine, alpha-lipoic acid, and vitamin B1 as benfotiamine has also been shown to protect and improve neuromuscular transmission. Another surprise, research from Columbia University found that older adults who regularly engage in mental exercise, like learning a foreign language, playing chess, or solving puzzles, are also better able to retain muscle, thanks to the neural cross-connections between the brain and movement. You see, muscle isn't just muscle. It's a more complex mental nutritional neural network than you might think. 7th is strategic resistance, the most powerful anti-aging medicine that medicine has yet been packaged. Of all the methods that have been studied, nothing is more powerful, more effective, and more proven than strategic resistance training. It's not a blanket get-moving advice. It's a systematic scientific approach with evidence that it can slow, stop, and even reverse muscle loss after age 60. Unfortunately, most seniors believe weight training is dangerous at this age, or I can just walk. But the truth is, not lifting weights is the biggest risk. Research from McMaster University shows that older adults who train at high intensity, that is, close to the point of muscular failure, gain more muscle mass and faster than those who focus on frequency or duration. Just 2 30-45-minute sessions per week, with the right amount of resistance, are enough to make a noticeable difference in strength, mobility, and quality of life. There are 4 principles that superagers always follow. First, they focus on intensity, not time. No need to train too long. Just train correctly, hard enough, and to the point where you can't do it one more time with good technique. Second, they prioritize compound exercises, multiple muscle groups, movements like squats, pushes, pulls, lifts, adjusted to each person's ability, activate the entire body, help secrete growth hormone, and maintain a comprehensive motor system. Third, they use the principle of progressive overload. The body only adapts if it is challenged. Gradually increasing the weight, reps, or difficulty is the only way to protect and grow your muscles as you age. Fourth, they emphasize the eccentric phase. Slow, controlled lowering of the weight creates high tension on the muscle fibers, stimulating growth while causing less trauma to the joints, perfect for older adults. The research from the University of Alabama shows that people over 70 who start resistance training in this way can gain 3.3 pounds of muscle and increase their strength by 35% in just 12 weeks, along with improvements in memory, blood sugar control, and bone density. The most important thing is not how old you are, it's whether you are willing to start. Because if you could pick just one habit from this entire video, this is the elixir you've been looking for. There you have it, 7 scientifically proven habits used by people in their 80s who still have the strength, independence, and spirit of a 40-year-old. The great thing is, you don't have to do them all at once. Just start with the one that you find most accessible, and you'll see the difference from there. So which habits surprised you the most? Which ones are you already practicing? And do you know someone in their 70s or 80s who is still incredibly healthy? Share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.